Hello and welcome to From Sickness to Health. I'm your host, Rico Hill. I'd like to begin today's program by quoting the psalmist David. In Psalm 100, verse 3, it says, "Know ye that the Lord, He is God. It is He that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are His people and the sheep of His pasture." You know what's so powerfully encouraging about this text? That if God made us, He knows everything about us. What is best for our health, best time to go to bed, the best time to even wake up, even what is best to drink and eat. That is so encouraging.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, that doesn't encourage you? You didn't hear what I just said. Let me recite the thing again.
No, look, I'm not up for debate, especially not right now. I am hungry. When I get hungry, I get grumpy. I think I'm gonna get some fast food.
Whoa, 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 fast food?
Yeah, you know, a quick burger, some chicken, fries with no ties, food fast food, ever heard of it?
Okay, you definitely didn't hear anything I just said. Know ye that the Lord, He is God. It is He that have made us and not we ourselves. Look at it this way. If you had a Porsche or a Mercedes-Benz, okay? Would you put diesel fuel in it when it calls for unleaded only?
Absolutely not.
What about kerosene oil?
No, we're talking about a Porsche. I
right.
would not put diesel or kerosene in my blue Porsche.
Then why wouldn't you put the best in your body?
That's a silly analogy.
Is it?
Yes.
Look, why would you take better care of your car than your own body?
Why isn't it obvious? Because it tastes good.
It tastes good, huh? Look, today's program is fast food.
Delicious fast food.
Roll the program. Would you take better care of your car than your body? I hope not. Thank you for joining us here in the studio of From Sickness to Health. I can't even tell you, we're going to talk about something today that is really, really helpful, exciting, and I think you're going to enjoy it. I'm going to introduce my guests in just a few moments. We have a robust discussion planned for today, so I know you're going to enjoy, so sit back and get ready. But first, let's say hello to our co-host, Sickness, who is at a remote location. Where in the world are you?
Rico, today I'm at a place where people's lives are celebrated. These people were courageous, and they didn't want to give up fast food, so I'm celebrating their lives today.
Well, I know you have more to say about that. We'll talk to you some more at your next location, but that's interesting. If I'm not wrong, that was a cemetery. Now, we have joining us today some familiar friends and some new friends. We've got with us Dr. Thomas Jackson, who is a doctor of science, natural health sciences, and is the head of a ministry called Meet Ministry, where they teach gospel medical missionary work and training, and we welcome him to the program.
Oh, thank you, Rico.
We appreciate you being here.
Yes,
and
indeed.
again, as you always say, your bride by your side, Dr. Laverne Jackson, who is a doctor of nutritional sciences. We welcome you to the program as well.
Thank you.
And you know what? Today is Couples Day.
That's right.
We've got two couples on the program. Also joining us is Reed Lynn Brady, who is a physical therapist, and he's joined by his wife, Sherry Lynn Brady, who's an occupational therapist. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
So we're talking about fast food today, and I know you all have a lot to say, and you see that we're kind of starting out at a cemetery.
Mercy.
Is it appropriate?
Oh, my.
I think it speaks volumes. Sickness definitely knows how to really impact.
You know, I think he sort of comes off and he's sort of counter health, but he leads us down the path of truth in some way, doesn't he?
You can't do nothing against the truth, but for the truth.
All right, so let's see what he has for us as we go into the discussion. Let's check out where he is. Where are you now?
Hey Rico, here I am in the kitchen of a fast food restaurant. This is where happiness is made. You know what they do here? They take some food and they add sugar, salt, and fat and fry it. And every time you fry something, it tastes good. You can smell the goodness. I love this place. They even have sodas in a fountain. A fountain of soda. It's amazing. You know what else? When you leave this place, you're full. But your body is starving for nutrition. And when your body is starving for nutrition, that leads to sickness. Hey, did I hear my name? I think I did, because every time you go to a place like this, you're gonna hear about sickness.
Sir, are you going to order?
Oh, yes, sir. I will take a heart attack, supersized, some high blood pressure, and a side of diabetes. Hey, you know what? Could I get the Diet Cola in the bucket sized? Hey, you know what? I know my way around. Why don't I just get it myself?
Security. Security.
While that may be funny, I think it leads to some dire consequences, doesn't it?
Oh, yes,
So
indeed.
what is fast food?
Oh, man.
Anybody jump in.
Quick.
Fast food, what is it?
Quick and
moving.
fast.
Convenient food.
You know, there's a history behind fast food, even though that it became more popularized in the 1950s. But we go back centuries, even pre-modern Europeans, they had what they call apartments. And then they had what they dipped bread in wine. And they provided those people with quick meals. So basically, the idea of fast food is not a 21st century concept. It's been around since even the days of the Roman. Then we move into the United Kingdom and now into the United States. And so we find there's a history. There's nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun. I could even say that we could go back to what we see in this here in this bowl.
That's right.
Because this is really fast food.
That's right.
I had one of these this morning. It took me no time. It was convenient. It was quick.
Yeah.
And it was delicious.
But you know what?
And it's high in nutrients.
Go ahead,
God
go ahead,
provided
go ahead.
fast food.
Yes.
And I think it's important to define what fast food is.
Okay.
Because because of the culture that we live in now, we think of anything that's quick and easy as fast. And unfortunately, we're programmed to think any fast food from a burger joint or from anywhere else that we can drive by, get our things, and then go on and keep moving on is fast food. Whereas if we would just
That's fast.
this is fast. I've got my meal right here. And sickness was on point. This is the most truthful that I've seen him on the program. Ordered a side of heart attack and diabetes.
That's right.
This doesn't come with that.
Wow, he did order it. He ordered, what was that? A heart attack, a side of diabetes. Now, how much truth is in that? Ooh.
Wow.
Now, I know someone is watching this program, and they're saying, well, you don't understand. I've got kids, I've got small ones, and they're hungry. I pick them up from school. I've had a long day, and I don't have time to be preparing a meal for them. So I just need to run through that drive-through, grab that food, and feed my kids. Now, how do you answer that?
Well, as has been said, that the word fast food does not necessarily denote something dangerous, convenient. But when sickness began to talk about what he was ordering fast, but what consisted of that fast food, it what makes it unhealthy.
And I think he mentioned salt, sugar,
Fats,
high cholesterol things.
That's right.
Because where do we get cholesterol from? Can we get cholesterol from an apple?
No. It's come,
High cholesterol from that carrot right there.
No.
Where do we get the cholesterol
come
from?
from what we call, non-plant foods, such as animal food, flesh foods. That's where you find the cholesterol.
Right.
Carrots don't give you cholesterol. By the way, it helps the body to metabolize the cholesterol.
So these work with us and work for us.
Yes, right.
And maybe the quote-unquote fast food is working against us.
That's correct. That's
that-
why he was in the cemetery.
Speak on that.
That's right. He was in the cemetery because these kinds of food lead to the major causes of diseases today. And so people are dying because of heart condition. Why? High fat, high sodium. We're looking at cancer can be contributed to the kinds of food choices we make also. So death is 3/5 eat. You remove the D and you remove the H and you are digging your graves with your teeth.
Whoa, whoa, did you hear that? Did you?
Serious.
Death
It's very
is
serious.
3/5 eat. Right in the middle of death is eat. That's heavy.
That's right.
That's heavy.
That's why
So
fast
people
food
are
is
digging
heavy
their
on you.
graves with a fork and spoon.
That's right.
Knife.
Oftentimes in the fast food scenario with a plastic fork and spoon.
That's right.
Is that right?
Fast food is also considered junk food. And we even use the term so quickly nowadays, we don't realize that. A lot of the food that
It doesn't
we
have a
eat is
negative connotation
junk
anymore.
food.
Oh, I want some junk food.
No.
Well, we call good now evil. You know, so that's why it does not have a negative connotation now. Yeah.
And the Bible said that the time would come when we would call evil good and good
Good,
evil.
evil. That's right.
So that can even be applied to our food choices.
That's
That's
right.
correct.
Yep.
God would consider them to be evil, and we consider them to be good. Point in case, God said, don't eat it with the fat
Or the
or the blood. Now we eat it with the fat and the blood. Now, he didn't say you couldn't eat it when he did give permission for us to eat flesh foods. He said, if you're going to have it without the fat and without the blood, because the life of the flesh is in the blood. Now, I can tell you, I once worked at a fast food restaurant. Yes, I did. I worked at a fast food restaurant when I was in high school. I won't tell you the name, but I remember, and I was eating that stuff at the time, but I remember working that grill. Oh, how I hated it. But I was working that grill, and I would watch as the blood would come up out of that meat, and then you would flip it over to just sear that
That's right.
blood into the meat itself, and then it would have sort of a fatty sort of film over top of it, or layer, and that's what God was talking about. So what's the problem with that? Someone is saying that right now. They're saying, it tastes good, just like sickness said.
That's right. It tastes
So what's
good.
the problem with that?
We find that fat definitely gives flavor.
It gives flavor.
The more blood, the more flavor. And notice it says that when you flipped it over, it had a nice coating on that. Just imagine now, within our body, you know, we have white blood cells, red blood cells, and then we have platelets that coagulates. And so we find even the heat can create a coagulation within that meat that creates a film that, number one, that blood becomes so toxic. And we have, well, we'll be talking about probably in the future, we have these little chemicals called hydrocarbons, and they tends to reduce the oxygen within the body, what we call, you know, oxidation of the cells. And so we change the whole chemical makeup of the food or the fat. And so fat doesn't carry no oxygen, no nutrients. It decreases the oxygen. Therefore, it has to taste good. See, pleasure for a moment definitely gives us what sickness was. A little celebration in our graves.
Oh,
You see?
but we don't want to have celebrations in our graves.
You know something?
That's not what we want.
Yeah. You know, I found out that 1/3 of the United States children from the age 4 to 19 eat fast food. Every year they add an extra pound, so every year you're going to gain pounds. So now we're dealing with an epidemic of childhood obesity
That's correct.
that predisposes us to diabetes, which we're already in an epidemic of diabetes. So the dangers of fast food, the way we eat it today, the way society eats it today, is definitely creating a future of economics for the health, for the disease industry. Yeah.
And
Rico, could I
us-
respond?
Whoop.
Wait. There's a response from sickness. I'm sure he's got an excellent point. Yes.
Yeah, the point I'd like to make here is let's not demonize kids for being overweight. Skinny kids are unhealthy. Overweight kids are very healthy. And fast food is easy. So, hey, let's not pretend that eating healthy is some easy thing. People have lives to live. So don't make it difficult on them.
Yeah, I think I know you have a point to make. I think there's some more convincing. Let's take a look at a video real quick, and let's see what it looks like, and let's see what the conclusion this particular documentary had come to as a result of the result that happened. Well, let me put it this way. What happened to people when they ate fast food?
That's good enough.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Now, for you all, when you see this video, you're going to be like, oh, when you see the food, but I know a lot of people out there, they're going to look at it and they're going to think, well, that looks good to me. But then listen to what is happening to people as a result of this. Let's take a look at the video.
So right after you eat these meals, you have energy. But the energy lasts a very short period of time, and you're hungry much sooner. And then you have to eat again, and then you have to eat again, and then you have to eat again.
It is a lot cheaper to go eat fast food. I mean, it definitely, you can buy a hamburger for cheaper than you can buy an apple.
That's very sad because you're telling me I have to pay more in order to eat healthy, but I can pay less in order to get fat and to make you rich, or for something that I might die off of.
It's unbelievable.
The poorest people in our country are the fattest people. We've done something completely wrong here.
The high-fat, deep-fried food culture here is delicious, but has deadly consequences.
Look at our diabetes and high blood pressure and heart disease. Like, these are major killers.
Wendy O'Neill was born in New Orleans. After Katrina, she says, it's even more difficult to access good food.
It's definitely harder and harder to make food choices. I mean, just with having less time. I do a lot of fast food, and I actually hate fast food. I don't like the way it tastes, but I'll eat it because it's cheap and I can get it on the
So you're saying that looked pretty good. What's the problem? What do you say? You're about to say something.
Well, yeah. Notice how when Dr. Jackson was mentioning what's going on in the cellular level, in Isaiah 14:12, it talks about Satan being the one that weakens the nations.
That's right.
Now, it doesn't mean that the nations
causing them to be sick.
Yes, but it doesn't mean that the nations are, okay, he's going to weaken the United States. No, he actually, when weakening the nations, it's people. Just in Revelation 14:12, where the angels declaring the gospel to every nation, kindred, people, and tongue.
That's right.
It's talking about individuals. So in weakening the nations and making sick the nations, he's making sick people. And he's doing that at the cellular level. And if the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do?
Wow, so we're being destroyed at the very foundation.
That's right.
At the cellular level. Wow, that's powerful. Now, you mentioned, Dr. Jackson, you mentioned kids, children. Now, they did a study, and they showed young kids under the age of 10 that if they took a carrot and gave it to them, they were fine with it. Or they didn't like it. They didn't like it. They didn't like it. But if they took a carrot and put it in a fast food bag and they ate it, they said it tastes better.
In the bag?
Put it in a fast food bag. In a bag.
That's what I'm saying, a bag.
How did that happen? What has taken place there? It's something on the psychological level is taking place.
That's right. And this is where the battle is won. Because we find that, that's right, we find that the thinking process has definitely been impact from early age on up to our adult age. That even if you make any adjustments in society, if the thinking is not changed, the behavior is not going to change. So the food industry know how to target because there's a psychology there. In the same way it was in the Garden of Eden, there's a psychology there. The way Satan came to our first parent, we find that there's a psychology, there's a mesmerism there. It has to put things in a different perspective because if it doesn't look good, taste good, then we're not going to buy into it. But it has to be a programming process. I believe that a lot of the stuff has been demonized, a lot of the things that we're dealing with. But however, we cannot use that term within the marketing industry. But the marketing industry is very wise. They know how to program. Yes.
They're programming people. Yes, go ahead.
There's also, for kids also, there's hyperactivity. And a lot of it is coming from fast food because there's such a low level of omega-3 fatty acids that we need. And that brings down all our serotonin levels, and it increases depression. And
affects us hormonally.
Yes. So imagine all our kids that are hyperactive, they have more anxiety, more depression, and we don't know what's wrong with them, and then they end up eating the more food. It becomes a really serious cycle for them.
Then we make them drug addicts.
I was about to say, somebody is saying, well, you know what, there's medication for that.
That's right, give them the drug, Ritalin.
There's medication for that.
Medication. And so it's a vicious circle.
So we have people, we're putting them in this cycle of sickness that leads to death. And I like to kind of express what people are thinking, And I think what people are thinking, they're saying, well, I hear what you're saying, but you know what? You got to die from something.
That's what they say.
You got to die from
Yeah,
something.
that's a fatalistic mindset.
Yes.
That's also something that has happened to our psyche,
That's
isn't
right.
it?
That's absolutely
You know, it takes me back to the Bible. It takes me back to Genesis chapter 3, where that first lie, and I hear it all the time, it's amazing how it's still with us. Basically, the devil said to Eve, one bite won't hurt you. And I've been to many, many gatherings where there's food, especially around family and things like that around the holidays. And I say, well, I don't eat that. And they'll say, one bite won't kill you.
That's right.
Now, Adam and Eve did not know that that one bite
would kill
would begin the process of death. And when we take one bite, even though we have pleasure for a moment,
That's right.
we don't realize that the process of death has really begun, hasn't it?
Being fast won't last.
Being fast, you know, we like to say, we call this program fast food, the slowest food in the West. Now, why is it slow? Why would we say that it's the slowest food? It won't last.
It won't last.
So why is it slow?
It's empty.
It is empty. We heard that.
Yeah.
Even sickness said
That's
that.
right.
Slows down our circulation.
Yeah.
Slows down our circulation. Why?
It just clogs it up.
Because it's high in that fat, and that fat affects the blood. It gets into the bloodstream, right? What else does it slow down?
Well, we find that not only we're talking about circulation, it definitely slows down the whole process, you know, of vital force. Even though it gives us a sense of quick pickup, but it continues to rob. You know, the Bible says in John 10:10, there's one that is a thief. He comes to steal and
kill,
rob.
and
So
destroy.
through fast food, the devil's stealing our vital force. He's seeking to steal, you know, even when we mentioned FARS, the ADH, fast food, the type of food we eat, it even affects our mental ability to function. So he's stealing our ability to even think clearly through the high processed food. Sugar, take sugar for example, which in the previous show I told you I was a sugarholic. Sugar sandwich, sugar on the rice, sugar in the colored greens or collard greens.
Sugar in your grits.
And the grits, man. And found out that it was robbing my body, as we already know, of the B vitamins, the calcium, and etc. And though it was convenient, sweet, but it is also was suppressing my immune system, slowing down my ability to fight off the bacteria and the viral invasions. So we go on and on and on.
Yeah.
Now, we've got just a couple minutes left, and I want to make sure that we cover a couple things here. One, I want to talk about, you brought up the idea of robbing, it being a robber of your vital force and things in your body that you need.
That's right.
And then I want to transition to what are some practical things that people can do. You know, we see here that we've got fast food here, but maybe there are a few other things that we can talk about. But also, if you're eating high protein, right, and is it true that your body needs to get calcium from somewhere to metabolize that protein from a meat source, and then robs it from, say, your bones where there's calcium in abundance? Is that true?
That's true.
So that's robbery right there.
Most definitely.
Yes.
That's
So
right.
I'm reminded of this definition of food that says that when we eat something, it should in no way injure the system.
That's correct.
It should not injure the body or any of its parts, but instead it should bring life to it.
That's right.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Is that right?
That's right. That's right.
Provide
Because, like it
substance.
says, the foods that we eat in fast food, it definitely is a thief. Like sugar. Sugar's a thief. We find white flour, it's a thief. Fried food, it's a thief. It does rob, depletes. Now, the body has to compensate. Like I said, if we're eating high protein food, which we need protein, but at a different source, then the body becomes so acidic. Now, the body got to pull calcium from its bones to neutralize it. So in one sense, we seem like we're getting the pleasure, but at the down the long term, we actually doing more harm.
In
a
our
pleasure
hidden
for
parts,
the moment.
Hidden parts, we don't know what's going on, but there's something that's taking place in our biochemical bodies, highly biochemical. It's robbing and things that are taking place, and we don't even know it.
Yeah.
And it's because we don't know it or we don't see it that we think, oh, it's not harming me. Oh, having this one bite won't affect me. And I remember when my wife and I, because we're both cheese, we love cheese. Love it. We loved it. And we started weaning off from it. And there was a period of time where we were off of it for maybe about 2 or 3 weeks. And we decided to treat ourselves for date night and go have some yogurt.
Oh, that's nice.
It was a nice date
It
night.
was not nice.
Unfortunately, it ended up
Date
that we
night
were.
was nice. What they ate.
But unfortunately, we ate that, and then within 30 minutes, we were sick. So we couldn't even enjoy date night. And it's at that point we realized that having all of that cheese and all those dairy products actually affected our systems, and we didn't even know it.
Slowed you down, didn't it?
It slowed us down.
The slowest food in the world. Now, see how we bring that back around to couples. It was date night for them, but food, fast food, cheese, destroyed their date night. Come on now. But we can keep talking about this. We can go on and on. We're going to have to talk about some more of these things on another program. We thank you so much for being with us. I hope that you've enjoyed this. This has been an interesting topic. Fast food, I know it's important to a lot of people out there, but you know what? Just take into consideration things that we've talked about. Don't forget where you saw sickness, but don't you end up there. See you next time. You know, I really enjoyed the topic of the program today. Why don't we do a recap? Today we learned that fast food is highly processed, has little nutritional value, and it's loaded with sugar and dangerous chemicals.
Who cares? The fast food industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry because they offer convenience. And people aren't going to give up convenience for your health tips.
Wait a minute. So how convenient is a heart attack? Or how convenient is triple bypass heart surgery? Type 2 diabetes? Is that convenient? Or how about this one? Death. How convenient is death? Do you really think that people are going to choose death and sickness for the sake of convenience?
Let's see. Yes, because it tastes good. Look, people will deal with some diabetes, going to the doctor, waiting for 3 hours, because hey, they realize taste is what you should rely on in life. Stop trying to scare people with all that scary health stuff, though it really is gonna happen. The reality is people will not give up taste. Taste is like my best weapon. You give me taste, I can sell people anything. It's like the enemy of nutrition and health.
Friends, we must get control of our appetites. What you eat becomes the makeup of your blood, and the life is in the blood. If we eat food that is devoid of nutrition, our bodies will not have the ability to fight diseases and fight sickness. The psalmist says, "Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good." That's the taste we want. This has been our program for today.
That's it? We're done? That fast? You're like fast food. Get it? Fast? Whatever.
I'm Rico Hill, and as always, beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health. Stay healthy. Maranatha. Taste.
Oh, I got heartburn or acid reflux or something. Oh, it burns right in my chest, this fast food. Oh, I need an antacid or something. Oh, man, I shouldn't have had that chili dog after I had that double-stacked burger with bacon. Oh, it burns. It's like a campfire in my chest. Oh, this stuff is terrible. Oh, fast food? More like slow food. Get out of me! Oh.